Little towards this side, no,
This
that
way.
side. Arey,
No.
orukum na. Yes, perfect.
Sorry, I started with live. I started
We are already live.
Yeah.
We are talking about turning the frame, but we are already live.
Let's
But
start.
that's how it
totally
starts.
fine. You can go.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
no
that's
problem.
fine.
That's how it works.
I mean,
I thought it's just normal video.
was it?
Are you recording a normal video?
But it's live,
No,
right?
it's live.
Hey guys. Yeah.
Hi,
Know that
guys.
We are not pros.
We are live everywhere. Are we live on
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, everything? Somebody just closed the door.
We are live.
I can't see from where to record.
Not bad
What?
to be live like this.
I can't find the Facebook. Yeah, on Facebook. Instagram.
30?
Are we live on Facebook also? Are we live on Instagram? Great.
I don't.
Yeah. We are playing this song after, I guess, after
I think a year or so
something.
we played it at this concert called Classicool last year.
Right.
And
It had a different form because we had a lot of other. It's a new experience again because I mean I don't know. We always play differently, and that's the best part of improvising and matching the same wavelength at a point, I guess, which lead us to somewhere.
different kinds of training which converge at some points because you've also grown up learning the tabla,
Right.
etc. So I would request Rhythm to sort of you can probably talk about yourself a little bit and tell us about your childhood. I know there's that very cute photo which we are missing. I would love to show that photo of you playing the guitar when you were like 2
Right.
years old.
It was actually I saw my dad making some music, maybe writing some staff notation stuff for some stuff, and it made me so curious that I also wanted to do the same thing. And I took my drawing book, and I started painting, and it just looked like as if I'm a music director too, and didn't know
Yeah.
anything. It was.
Yes.
It was just a funny moment, but it looked so cool. But again, my upbringing is like, again, guitar and tabla simultaneously for so many years. I've learned tabla for 11 years. Simultaneously for so many years, I've learned tabla for 11 years, which definitely helped me to play guitar rhythmically and think about patterns and polyrhythms, and which made my life much easier playing with other musicians coming from Indian classical gharana. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's tabla, and I've accompanied with some other musicians too, and then learning Western classical musician for so many years, uh, uh, and learning those like theoretically too, which made me part of both the worlds, and incorporated at some point in time, which helped me to play music better, I guess, and to understand music in a different way and perspective wise too from all the other genres. Then learning jazz, look like watching a lot of rock videos, playing those stuff. How to look cool, not only play cool. Like,
Like the hair.
well, that's what's happening now. But
And
before
other
that,
things which we won't talk about.
well, yeah, that's after the video. But anyway,
Not live.
No, not
By the way,
really.
guys, if you want any of Rhythm secrets, you can get in touch with me. You know,
Not
online,
at all.
and I'll give you some of his secrets.
Let's reconnect it again.
But I think
but-
I think one of the I'm just picking up on what you said. One of the great things about playing with Rhythm, and this is what I have noticed about him, is his ability to just jump in and play. And my entire life, through my training, whatever little training or little experiences I have, had. I have realized that that is what making music is all about, is really being in the moment and being able to make the best of the moment.
Spontaneous.
So I think that is reconnecting again, huh? So it's there also? Okay, good. Are you're shooting it from there?
Checking it out.
Okay. All right. So whenever we play together, every time, it is the interesting thing is two people never think the same things,
Right.
even musically. But it is the job of one person to understand the other person's thinking, and that's where I think playing with Rhythm has been very special, because there is nothing between his thoughts and his execution. Whenever there is inhibition between the thought and the execution, that's when music tends to either become hesitant, even that slightest bit hesitant, or otherwise premeditated. So he's a very incredibly spontaneous musician, and I think the tabla training or the the interesting thing about doing a project like this is, although he plays, I mean, you play jazz and you play rock, and you've been brought up with a Western ethos, but at the end of the day you've been brought up in India, listening to all the Indian stuff,
Definitely.
listening to ragas or listening to other things. So I think your ability to adapt and bring one to the other is makes it
Thank
special.
you, but it's likewise again to play with Purbainda, because it's not only the music which he's playing, but then listening to so many other genres makes you like open about music. It's not only about the only genre you play and you worship. It's also about listening to other things and taking the good things out of it and incorporating and executing it with your own instrument, which makes you a very unique and own sounding musician, which helps you to play with other musicians with a different thought process, I would
Yeah,
say.
indeed.
And that helps to connect with other musicians so much better than just being very directional.
Indeed, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
yeah, that's my pleasure to play with you, because
Because
you
me-
are so open about other genres and production and everything, which I think is kind of not so much happening in like with other musicians I played with. But again, I mean, that's very
Well, in the Indian context, the interesting thing about our Indian music is it's very rooted in tradition.
right.
So often, without realizing it, your traditions should actually liberate you. You should tradition is something which makes you confident. That I am a traditional person. This is my tradition. Just like your harmonies, your chords, and that makes you confident whenever you listen to a piece. Even if you listen to Chinese music or Japanese
Yeah.
music or whatever, you can relate using
Exactly.
those chords, etc. And then it should liberate you. That then you can think like a musician. You don't need to think like a Western musician or an Indian musician. So tradition should do that. Ideally, I feel that tradition should liberate you and make you confident about who you are, so that if you have to be somebody else, you're coming from
Capable
there
of doing it,
and be in the moment and so on. So speaking of which, I would love to hear one of your songs or one of your pieces to give our viewers a little idea about your own composition. I know I am a big fan of one of your songs, which is called the love ballad.
All I was thinking of you.
All I was thinking of
Yeah.
you. So maybe you can play that as a little
Maybe
guitar
I'll
or
play
something else,
else,
whichever.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want.
I
to
mean,
play. I'm a
because
fan
all-
of all your songs. So
thank you so much. Yeah, that's from my album called.
shall we connect to YouTube on another device?
YouTube is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good. Okay.
Cool. I'll play one song from the album called Opening Act, and the name of the song is also called Opening Act.
Oh, okay. That song.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know that song?
I don't know. I'll let you play it.
Okay.
This is your. You can play it in a different key or whatever. I know all the guitar players or even the singers, they curse me because I'm stuck to D. So I have learned to play a little bit in C and A and G.
But that's great.
Transposing a little
yeah,
bit, yeah.
definitely.
It's part of in fact, the thing is, while rhythm is tuning up, I would like to say that we've actually been on this journey together for a couple of years now, and we are just now coming out with our first single, but it's going to be an entire project. But we have
I mean,
learned.
you'll actually see the whole journey, because in the video as well. I don't want to put out no spoiler. You have to check the video and comment on this video. Maybe we'll check it out later and reply to all of you guys about the journey and how long it has been.
Yeah, you'll
because
see.
it's very visually evident.
Yeah, you will see us gaining weight, losing weight.
Yeah, like,
losing hair, gaining hair. You'll see all that happening.
that has been the journey. Like,
All right, but on to your song. By the way, we have a amazing audience in front of us.
yeah,
You know,
that's making us
We
play
have
like a gig.
a whole
like a
bunch
concert.
of, and we have a big, there we go. We have Megha, we have Vineet, we have Riddhi, who is now all on Nastya's camera. I
You
think
can
that's
show
on
yourself too,
rhythms.
maybe.
And well, I was gonna keep Nastya as a surprise, but now it's
Okay.
revealed. We'll see some unexpected surprise later on.
So, opening act it is. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't practice
Go
this.
for it.
song
Yeah,
for
I
the
wasn't prepared
longest
for
time.
any of this. I wasn't even prepared for my life. I mean, I just came on this earth and then tried
I guess
started
same
figuring
here.
it out.
Yeah, well, that's how we hang. Like play something.
Nice. Wow.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this is how we do it. He just says, play something.
And
So-
yeah, that's how it is. I mean, that's the fun of playing with a musician of this level and this understanding. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Did you listen to the song before from this album?
I've heard it. I've
Yeah, but
heard
then
it
we
a couple
never
of times.
played
We've
it
never played
before.
it together.
And so, That's the.
I mean, I think
example.
music is, you just listen to the notes, you listen to the
Vibe.
rhythm structure,
Yeah.
and that's all there is actually. There's the tune, there's the melody,
Yeah.
and there is the beat, and then there's harmony. So I think in the Indian context, there is more of melody, but the melody, you know, goes very deep, so it's very intricate in terms of, you know, melodically intricate. But we also have an underlining sense of harmony, as you're going to see in the little song that I will play right now. Play something very short, and I'll ask you to join me, just
Anywhere,
like
yeah.
you know, I joined you. And
Yeah,
this is,
definitely.
I mean, you can roughly say it's a harmonic minor, but.
I'll just tune the guitar back.
Yeah. So, guys, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, are there some interesting comments on Instagram? Anything we can respond to? Right now, nothing that we can respond to. They have all been in the past. We'll spend a little time responding to comments later on. And we'll scroll down and see what is there, and try to respond to some comments. Initially, my idea was to have some people join on the Instagram videos, some
Okay.
musicians, but
Oh,
maybe
really?
that's for another time, because you know
Yeah, because
Instagram.
it's kind of difficult now to do it in this format.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
but
you need a big TV screen in front of you with
yeah,
your Instagram.
and also where you can
Mm.
actually listen to what the people saying and
Yeah.
playing. I guess.
But we should. It's a good idea for the future where we can jam with people from
Definitely,
the
we
other
should
part
do
of
it
the
more
world.
often. I guess.
Yeah.
This chill vibe.
So. Old Thumri, immortalized by Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab. And as I said, it's a roughly harmonic minor, but then you're going to hear the flat second from time to time.
Nice. See, also that's what it is. Like you have listened to so much Western music, and I've actually read about it or learned about it that you can actually tell any other musician who's a Western musician that what it is, and that helps us to play while joining you. For any other. I mean,
Yeah, you have to speak the language of each
Technically-
other's language.
yeah.
But I
that's
can
kind of-
equally, the good thing with rhythm is I can equally tell him this is in Dadra or in Kerwa.
And I understand that. That's a good part
or
of it.
Chartal ka Sawari.
Well, and then it goes anywhere. But
So here
go
it
for
goes.
it.
So those who are asking for Bhairavi, it's coming up right now. This is in a rag which is called Jangla Bhairavi or Sindhi Bhairavi, which is from Sindh, and it's a bit of a mixed Bhairavi. So. You could join me on the tabla also.
I wish I had a set here.
We have a set, but we didn't. Play that last line again.
Later.
Nice.
Good one, man.
So,
Sweet.
I mean, this is a Naina More Taras Sajai.
Huh.
It's a very popular composition, but you can do something with it, you know, harmonically speaking. Also, this is something that I've been studying a little bit in depth. That how Indian music also has, when you phrase in Indian music, like
Yeah. Yeah.
etc. There are phrases which one
Exactly.
leads
I
to
mean,
the other.
so there's one way of putting it out is like, okay, so there's this way called drone, which is only two notes playing,
Yeah.
and definitely has got a lot of other harmonics, which are heard if you can listen to it very minutely.
Yeah.
But then it's again kind of keeping the same thing throughout.
Yeah.
So you have to judge, and you have to be intelligent to hear the harmonics inside you.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have to
harmonically.
imagine the harmony.
Right.
You have to imagine the
But
harmony.
then in Western music, that's what we do. We just execute it. We just
Yeah.
put it out.
True.
Like you can play the same thing with. Just do the same thing, playing all the harmonies. Like play the melody. No, the main
You want
song.
me to play
Yeah.
it?
So what I'll do is I'll just try to explain you how drone works and how harmony with the
Works.
same melody works. So let's just try it once.
Let's try it.
So you just have to do it. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's actually,
Just listen to a lot of music, try to understand it and execute it. That's what we have tried to do, and we are just executing it now, and it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting that the same melody, we can put it out in so many different ways, the way we want.
and
to
now coming
express
back to
ourselves.
our song which is coming out on the
Yeah.
21st.
Let's do that.
So the song is called First Train Out, and many of you will be wondering what it has got to do with the train and why it's called First Train Out. But I think both of us are very inspired by this very legendary guitar player called Pat Metheny, who has been a great source of inspiration for many of us who actually listen to jazz music. And I had the privilege and pleasure of meeting him and also playing with him a little bit. And that he has an instrument which is called the electric sitar, which is actually a guitar, but he's put a little twang on it, and he used that to compose a song called The Last Train Home, which is from his album
Mhm.
called Still Life Talking. And I think we were both very inspired by that song.
Definitely,
and,
with all his music, with all his musicality,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
And why it's called The Last Train Home is because there's a constant train kind of sound which is happening on the hi-hats, I think. No?
Kind of vibe,
Yeah,
which is tried to implicate in his music.
Yeah,
Mm.
which that song roughly goes like.
Yeah. Yeah. Right,
Whatever,
right,
huh?
right.
So it
yeah.
goes like that. I love that song, but I
Yeah,
don't want
same
to
here.
insult the beauty
Again,
of that
same here.
song.
I mean, I don't know the harmonies properly, so I just don't want to play and make a different song out of it.
Yeah.
Let it be the way it is.
So those of
Yeah.
you who are watching this, kindly, this song
Check
is
that
going
song
to
out.
exclusively be out only on my YouTube channel, and we are putting because this is a project which is called Purbain Rhythm Shaw Experience. So some of the songs will come out on different platforms. So there may be one of the songs will be on my YouTube channel, one of the songs will be on Rhythm's YouTube channel. So I
Yeah.
think you guys should keep subscribing to both the channels,
Right,
and then
we're
you'll
gonna
keep
put
getting
out-
all our songs.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's how we are planning to do, because
Yeah.
that's how we can both grow our own subscribers and
Yeah.
listeners and help each other to
Yeah.
grow together.
And that's the way that music industry is growing like that.
And also, this is Purba and Rhythm Shaw Experience. It's
Yeah.
both of our projects.
Yeah.
So, I guess
So it should be on our own platforms.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we are trying to encourage people to come exclusively to our platforms for our, certainly it is our vision to put our music for this project almost exclusively. So you will get it on YouTube. Those of you who want to keep yourselves updated, please subscribe to these platforms, and then you can listen to the song. But we'll keep the song under wraps. We'll play a
Yeah.
couple of lines of the song later on today. But
Yeah.
right now, I think let's jump into another song which we have been playing a lot. Another inspiration from after Pat Metheny is Mr. Chick Corea.
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do
How
it,
about let's
definitely.
do it? Let's do some music.
We love playing.
We just want to play.
So, doesn't matter. We just
What
want to
we play.
play. I mean, we met after a long time, and I think this is how it goes even without the live video or
I'm gonna
putting
take
it
off
out
my
on
glasses.
social media. But then, yes, this is what we do: laugh, talk, eat a lot, and
Other things which we won't tell you.
we shouldn't mention then.
But we are not telling them what it is.
Anyways, and play a lot of music. But again, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the Purba and Rhythm Shaw Experience. Why you want to actually put it up as an experience rather than just live or a project? It's because, I mean, these days, and also the way he mentioned at this time, at this era, like 2019, there's a lot happening, and not only music, but there's a lot more entertaining things with music.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to do. I mean, definitely as a performer, we would always like to show you how we perform and how, don't want to boast about it, but how much we worked hard to do what we do,
Yeah.
and
course.
very true about it, and dedicated our
this is not
years.
boasting. We are just trying to tell people that it takes a lot of hard work, and there's still a long way to go for us to achieve what we want to achieve.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then also we want to put out and incorporate some other things to make it look cooler at this generation. I mean, at this point of time,
Yeah.
let's say we watch EDM live videos, DJ live videos and stuff, where they're not only actually playing the music, but then there's a lot of other visual aspects, which is making it much bigger than what it is. And that's what we also want to do with our music too, and put everything together visually and
Yeah.
in audio format.
Well, we are
too.
striving to make it an experience which is audio, which is visual, which is even like could be a 5.1 experience. We could actually be working to because I think all of our songs tell some stories. Like
Yeah,
this first
definitely.
train out, it's also very iconic because iconic and there's a lot of visual imagery because it is the first train that we are taking out in our journey, which is why we've released this song. It's a train
No,
that
it's
we
a
have
long
taken.
journey.
Yeah,
You'll
we have
again
taken
see it.
together. You'll see again. You'll see it. But it's a train that we
Right.
have both jumped into. We have got on at different stations, and we
Yeah.
are trying to go to the same destination.
Right,
So our
right.
songs tell stories, and therefore,
And then we actually want to put it out like that,
Yeah.
so that you can actually see it. And
the visuals. I think this is this Frozen? Can you check this once? Let's check this. Huh?
Something just started, but this
is it?
Just check if it is frozen or if it's. You might need to start it again. Why don't you start it again before we play the next song? Is it there? It's fine. So just do it now. Do it again.
Just like restart it maybe.
End
or
it
something.
and restart it. No problem.
And
You can shut that.
my friends out in here. I mean, the Titan track will play sometime later, definitely. But thank you for asking and listening to my music. Now listen to both of our music.